I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the High Fidelity Season 1, Episode 5 and 6 After Show. I'm here. I'm your girl, Trina Dong, but I cannot do this alone. To my left, we have Music Man, Kenneth Ware.
Yes. What's up?
And we've got another Music Man to the left, Keven Allen.
That's right. How you doing?
Guys, we're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff tonight. We're going to be talking about will she or won't she buy these records? We've got some surprise patrons in the record store, and we have a very special VIP experience with our man Liam. We're gonna do a little special segment about our most prized music possession, and then we've got some fun news to share with you too. But first, guys, let's talk about just our overall thoughts of these two episodes.
It was so much. It was a nostalgic experience going down memory lane, thinking about my favorite records and favorite songs. And also, I was definitely feeling like a fanboy when she was on her VIP experience with Liam. So it was all around. Those two episodes were really cool.
I got totally different vibes. Two totally different vibes from these episodes. The first one made me angry, crying across the board. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
And then the last one was kind of like a more playful, upbeat romp than her last thing. Like, the shop is doing great. Met these new musicians, hung out with an old musician, kind of. And she was having her hijinks, whereas the first one I was just like, that whole scene was bothering me so much.
You're right. There were a couple different vibes, but we're going to get to all of it. So let's start. Episode 5, she gets a call at the store, and someone says, yo, I want to sell you a big set of records. Come through.
This was like a record shop owner's fantasy
Yeah.
come
You
true.
could build a pristine, brand new niche record shop from that collection alone.
Yes.
And she just let the other guy have it.
Well, we'll get into it. I was thinking about that in my head. I was like, where's she going to put all these records if she takes them? But let's talk a little bit about why these records are being sold. So we meet a very eccentric, rich artist that has a lot of interesting things on display. A stuffed animal giant.
Horse dog.
Yeah, and she said she was
Allergic to so many different things, so she could never have them. So this was her
Exactly.
expression.
So she's wanting to sell these records, right? But why is she going to sell them, guys?
She has a cheating man, a cheating husband, she obviously has been devoted to for many years, and she is fed up and found out because the son, it was on Instagram.
Yeah.
He got caught up in that digital age with his young tenderoni.
Ew.
And she is not having it, and she is getting rid of this record collection.
It's going to be her greatest work of art yet.
Yeah, when she started talking about the art of the actual, like, the concept of why they're there to buy them, she's going to put that 20 in the frame.
Yes.
It's going to be this. It's going to be that. It really tripped me out that people think so extensively to really get back at someone and really dig in there.
She was hurt.
was trying-
Hurt people.
Like, how can I hit him the hardest? Like, it's one thing to just, like they said, burn the albums or whatever. It's another to have him know that they're out there somewhere and he can't have them.
Well, she made a good point. You know, it is someone else's art. So to burn an album is like a no-go.
Yeah, the fact that Clyde, like, even suggested that, like, I started to cringe. Like, this is history, man. These are cherished treasures that... alongside the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Right, and Rob gave him
Unicorn Beatles album.
she gave him a really quick side eye, but it just shows that he doesn't have the same love for music that she does. But yeah, she hit him quick with that side eye.
Right, when they went to find the ex-husband or the soon-to-be ex-husband to try to find, is this guy worth taking his albums from? And so they're sitting down and talking to him, and he's only talking to Clyde and not talking to her.
Yes, he has. I mean, he was your stereotypical cheating husband. He
was a tool.
clicked off the laundry
He was a
list.
tool.
Yes.
Yeah. Doesn't treat women,
He was a complete chauvinist, yeah.
didn't introduce the girl to them, didn't pay attention when she opened her mouth.
Didn't talk to her as soon as he had somebody else he could talk to. And what bothered me more than that, and it bothered me, I think, more only because no one brought it up, was that he didn't sound like he was a fan of music. He sounded like he was a fan of celebrity, but in a specific group of musicians. because he didn't talk about the quality of the albums or the songs or how influential they were to the medium. He kept talking about, I met so-and-so at this time and I was at this concert when no one else was.
Right. And just he likes facts. He likes knowing stuff.
He likes what's the word? He likes like holding trivia over people's heads.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm in the upper echelon and I'm in the know and you're not.
And
you're
you're
down here on the
not.
ground. So
Yeah.
let me show you around.
Yeah, he thinks he's superior than the
Yes.
rest. So that was interesting, but when we got down to it, she chose to not take him.
Which was a stupid choice. It was such a bad choice. Every reason she gave for not doing it, like I
Yeah.
was screaming at the television, like, "Oh, he's a fan of music." No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's a fan of celebrity. It would be, what was it? Oh, she said something about like that it should be for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
you own a record store. You can
Yes.
literally redistribute them. Like,
Yes.
So that line though that
God.
she did drop a line, and she basically said that music is for everyone, even not great people, and that they should be able to enjoy it too, which I thought was interesting.
Right, and most of the time music is made by a lot of not great people. Nobody,
Yeah,
you
they brought
know.
that up
So
in prior episodes.
Or
you
that you've
know,
gone through something.
Yeah, they've gone
poor.
through something, and she really overthinks, and she has a big heart, and she just felt sorry for the guy.
Yeah.
And she could not do it. I mean, she offered the lady like $3,000.
Yeah, she
before
kept
they
throwing out
even-
big numbers.
and it's just like that was a very valuable record collect. So as a person who loves music, okay, I get it. As a record store owner, no, that was very valuable, and you missed out on a whole lot of money, Rob.
because even so, if she turns it down, it's not like the woman was going to change her mind about it.
Yeah.
She was just going to call that other store, which isn't as genuine as hers, and so that guy just gets to win again.
Yes.
And just she only shot herself in the foot. Like, she didn't change the outcome of anything else. She
Yeah.
just screwed herself over. And the only reason I think she did it was exactly what Clyde said, was that if she, it was the karma of it. If she accepted those albums, then karma would come track her down next.
Yeah.
Right.
But man, she could buy her way out of that mess after.
Well, at the end of, we still don't know how she keeps the shop open.
We
We'll
do not.
never know.
Obviously, they are booming. They are
Something
doing
that
very
we're not
well.
seeing.
Thank
But-
God for Saturdays.
Exactly. Something brings people in, but we did see a little bit of high volume
Yes.
during this episode. So we had a lot of people come through the record shop.
I think that was the first time we saw that many customers at
Yeah.
one time.
Any
Usually
customers.
it's just bare
Usually, like,
bone,
one
no one
Yeah.
here. It's more, Sharice and them just hanging out.
Yeah, killing it. My dream. So the first surprise guest that we had is just a guy that was looking at Sharice's flyer to find bandmates. And he was really into it. And she was like getting into him being into it. And then when he found out that it was her, he turned around and walked out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if it's based on just he doesn't want to work with girls, her look, or
Her name
what
is
it is.
Charisse. Like, he had to have known.
I don't know what it is.
True. She's so cool. We really need this episode all about her, guys. And if we don't get it before
Yeah.
10, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because we got to find out what this music is. This whole time during this episode, we heard a lot from her feeling like people weren't supporting her. But then those people also saying, but where's the music? What kind of music? What's happening?
I mean, she's so outspoken and in the shop and all the other aspects of her life. But when it comes to the music, it's just like, why are you holding back, not allowing us to, listen to the music at least? Can we get a snippet, a interlude,
Yeah.
a hum, or something?
I'm waiting for her to overcome whatever is keeping her
Yeah.
in the shadows, so to speak. And one thing I noticed about her flyer, at least the first incarnation of it, was you said she was looking for a front man. She never specified an instrument or anything relating to the music, but she wanted someone to be the face of her musical act. And then later in this episode, as she's talking with Liam's manager,
Yeah.
she's describing that, I sing and I do this and I do this and I do this. But if she's the singer, then why does she need a frontman? And so to me, there's something that's keeping her from wanting to, like, she's got stage fright.
Yeah.
There's something keeping her from wanting to present herself.
Yeah. It's the typical, like, so tough. You're so tough about everything, but there's got to be stuff inside of you that you're working through. You
Yeah.
can't just be, like, a hard person about everything.
Right.
So this is obviously it for her.
And she might be like Sia or something, and just not.
We don't even know.
Yeah, like want to show her face.
There you
but
go. There
we
you go.
need to-
So another guest, Clyde, came through
Yes.
Yeah.
after of the fiasco of the record situation. He came through, and it was very awkward.
And shout out to Clyde for that adventure uptown and even taking Rob up to seek out that rare record collection.
Holding his
No
bladder
questions
all day.
asked.
And they're like, they have a very, it's kind of like, are we friends? Are we not friends? We've already had sex. I think he really likes her.
Yeah.
He wants more. And it's like when, it's just like, what's happening with those two? So the fact that he came into the record store, I was like, okay, he's trying to, let her know. So I think she's kind of picking up on those vibes a little bit. So I want to see that relationship blossom because he seems like a good guy.
And she was being friendly to him.
Yeah.
I didn't
friendly.
expect her to be friendly. I expected her to, do like shade him the whole time. She
Yeah.
didn't.
No, there were some great vibes between the two of them. I felt like everybody, strangers in the store or not, felt it.
Yeah.
And I'm at home like feeling it too, and be like,
Yeah.
come on, Rob, come to your senses. Like, yeah, like you said, no questions asked. This guy did such a huge favor for you.
And he stole
And then
Bowie.
he stole Bowie's
Yeah.
album.
Yes.
But he left a 20.
And he's been showing up and showing out since
Yeah.
episode 1, like when he returned and he had the food for her. And, she started off thinking he was that a-hole, and he has not proven to be an a-hole. So I hope she gives
He's a
Clyde
good guy,
chance.
yeah.
Okay. So then we have the guy from the coffee shop that approaches Simon and
Yes.
just starts asking about stuff. What do you think of
Yes.
that scenario?
Yes, he's flirting, very flirtatious. He's trying to check out Simon. And I'm just like, I want to win for Simon.
So
Simon
bad.
seems like another good guy who is just, he's looking for love, some type of relationship with some guy.
I was so stunned that Simon didn't reciprocate as much.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, I got the vibe from his coffee shop visit that he doesn't like really put out a lot. It's, take that however you want to. But, he doesn't show his interest as much.
Sure.
He's very close to the chest, and he kind of is.
He holds back.
The guy was smiling at him the whole time, and he was just like, keeping his head down and stuff.
Right.
But now this guy's coming right up to him and like on a silver platter.
Yeah.
And I'm glad by the end of the episode, Simon was making, I guess, a playlist for him.
And the cassette
Yeah,
tape.
the cassette
Old
tape.
school cassette tape.
Something warm. That was cool.
But then he saw him with another guy.
Yeah.
And overthinking like Rob, not even knowing,
Yeah.
like he didn't see the guy in an embrace or they were kissing. Or he was having a conversation. But yeah, that kind of knocked him down a little bit. He was defeated. He walked off so defeated. I just was just like, ugh.
And our last set of surprise guests that we have at the store were the Little Thieves.
Oh, yeah.
thieves.
Peachy and... I remember their name. I just remember,
The
was it
Thieves.
Fisher Price, Kid and Play, or whatever?
Yeah, they stole albums, and then we have Charisse and Rob chasing them down the street. They were in a mad dash, and then once they found what they were doing, what'd you think of the way that Rob reacted?
It was like these teens. She kind of felt for them. I think she put herself in their shoes, and she knew that their love for music, and she wanted to kind of check out their scene. And she gave them instead of calling the police, like, hey, I know you love music. Let's work together.
Yeah.
Because I want to help. Help you get these songs for you. So it worked out. Although I did also feel like Charisse for a moment, like, nah, let's call the police.
Yeah.
Let's rough up these teens.
Yeah, Charisse makes some excellent points in that this kind of behavior can't be encouraged.
Yeah.
They deserve at least a slap in the wrist. But I like what Rob did. She recognized that they'd done the hard work, that they knew what they were talking about and had done their homework. And so the only thing that was holding them back essentially is just capital. And there's no reason that they shouldn't have access as artists to whatever they need to create. So
Yeah. And she saw a kinship. They appreciated something that she appreciates, and for the same reasons. The quality of the music and how it actually sounds off of a record versus when you download it for $1 million online, when you download a beat.
Compare that to the Instagram influencers we saw a couple episodes back. Like these kids are worth supporting in their endeavors.
Right.
I thought that was great. So let's.
Music is good. Too.
Music is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Let's move on to. We got a VIP backstage Rockstar Pass with Liam through Rob.
Yes.
And it went some ways.
It went a lot of ways.
A lot of surprising ways.
What'd you think about how it started?
Well, I think it was awesome that it started at Jimi Hendrix's record studio. Like, that was dope.
Yes.
I totally would have taken that invitation, you know,
sure.
if my, however many, I forget how many years her junior she called him.
10.
But still, I would have been like, yeah, no, having young friends is fine. Having young friends who get you into Jimi Hendrix's record studio that you've walked past a million times and never got into is even better.
Yeah.
Like, I was totally on board with her, just like, whatever, water under the bridge, let's just hang out. And then she helped him with his music and finding that secret ingredient. Like, all of this was so great. And then when they kissed in the studio, I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you going back to this?
She gave herself to the stereotype of like what it is to kind of be a groupie in the room.
It was definitely a VIP experience. It felt like she entered a sweepstakes online for Liam and was awarded this 24-hour adventure with him from the studio. The kids, everybody's cringing.
It's so cringy. It's so
that
crazy.
next morning where she's in bed, like, did I just have sex with a rock star? And I was like, when were you about that?
Because
she's about that life.
When did
Now she's about that.
He wasn't a rock star like a week ago. Why is it
That's
different?
true. But I think that it's another, mask that she puts on, trying not to be a fangirl, trying not to kind of idolize that type of scene, which clearly she does. When you love music that much, you've fantasized a million times about being in a studio like that.
Yes.
And so now I think she was actually letting that out instead of just admitting it, because she's usually just tough and cool and she doesn't like anything.
That was the creme de la creme. And I mean, her waking up next to him was hilarious.
The turn and
It's like, no. But no, it was great. Like, the studio experience, you're not going to Leroy's closet. You're going to Jimi Hendrix studio.
True.
Meeting with all this top producer and everybody. And I mean, that was like her just fantasy. And then you sleep with this rock star. And I'm glad he's not 17 or 18, because that would be a whole nother discussion. So at least he is legal. But also that was a little like, okay, was when you saw her topless. It reminded me of kind of like Kate Winslet in Titanic. When you
with
just
the hair, and you're like, whoa, that happened.
But yeah, there was, I mean, they're an attractive couple together.
sure.
Like, it was a very, when he caught her trying on the Ray-Bans and they're kind of going back and forth, I'm like, that was the first time I'm like, okay, well, he'll be 20.
It was some hotness on the screen. You have to admit it. He's a good-looking dude. And
that's the thing. If it wasn't for the fact that I know him as the character is underage, I wouldn't be bothered by any of it, because Liam certainly doesn't look however young they're depicting him.
No.
And everything else you guys just said.
Yeah.
So,
well, the reason why I think it's cringy is because she made this huge dramatic deal about walking out on him, but then now that there's a little more clout involved, she ran back, and that seems to be something that she would shade if anybody else did that. So that's why I'm like, oh, girl, you did a thing, and it would have been fine if you would have always been doing the thing.
But that's what I was saying. Like, I'm trying to figure out like what the time progression in the show is, because like when we first met Liam, he was just this solo act, and I mean that like it was just him and an instrument.
Yeah.
And he was covering songs, and now the second time we saw him, when she showed up late to his act, it was an original piece. I'm like, okay, he's evolving as an artist, but it's still just him. And then suddenly, he's in a studio with Jack Antonoff, and they're covering this like completely produced out track. Yeah, he's got a manager and he's touring. I was like, when did this happen?
Right.
And glow-ups happen fast. We know that these days.
He became a celebrity overnight.
Yeah, and so she, just as quick, changed her complete opinion about
100%.
him.
Something we all say we wouldn't do, but would we? Question mark.
You never know until you're in that situation.
Exactly. We can't judge too hard, but it is cringy and sad.
I feel the same way about buying all those records. I'm like, would I actually follow through?
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
For sure.
Thank
Kenneth would.
you.
End of. So he invites her to Mexico City very awkwardly, like in the kitchen, and it seemed very forward. What were your thoughts on that?
He's very just carefree, and I mean, he's just enjoying the moment. He's 19.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, I'm going to Mexico City. It's cool. And she goes back to well, no, I don't want to be like a groupie. And I mean, I don't think that he's thinking about that. It's just more like, I like you. We're having fun. I have this access. Come hang out with me in Mexico City, you and your
He
friends.
clearly wants to keep the relationship going and ask her out on a date, but he happens to be going to Mexico, so the date has to be there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, he's just playing the hand he's dealt, so to speak.
Yeah.
He didn't like arrange this highfalutin situation. It just is what he's got, and he wants to spend time with her.
Yeah.
I thought it was totally genuine.
And then he cancels and they walk out of the show.
Yeah, and then that happened.
But the episode was we got a lot of content in that episode.
yeah.
We got a lot of stuff happening. But now, let's move on to our special segment about
Yes.
some prized possessions. Kenneth, take it away.
Yes, we were going to be talking about our most prized music possessions, and I will start with myself. I have a record player that I enjoy and love that I brought with me from Texas when I moved to LA. So I have to buy some more records, but I have an old school record player that I adore.
Dope.
So you had approached me with this hypothetical, like, if my ex were to sell any musical item of mine to make my skin crawl and all that, it would be, I'm obsessed with Green Day's American Idiot album. Obsessed.
Have you seen the Broadway show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, me too.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
So the moment it was announced that they were doing a rock opera, I was all in. And then I got to hear it and I loved it. So when the album came out on the day, I made sure to buy the book edition where they had like the poetry and a bunch of photography that and what ended up being the letters that inspired the musical. It was that whole package.
Wow.
I opened it, put the CD into my CD burner so that I could burn copies of it, and then put it right back in and sealed it right back up. And it's just been like in my safe ever since. I thumbed through the book once, absorbed it as much as I could, and I wore out the copy of my record because I knew I didn't want to do that. I would do that to the original.
Yeah.
So it's like it's behind glass for me.
Amazing.
Love it.
Mine is I still have the cassette tape to Coolio's 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
I do. Because I used to listen to that song until the tape would die. I don't think it's even the original.
Did you have to spin it?
Oh,
with
yeah,
your
just spin
finger?
it because they get all messed up and it gets all. I still have that. It's at my childhood home, not here because it should stay safe somewhere. But those were the days where you had to rewind, you had to just to like get everything out of music that you wanted. Now it's like handed us too easily, and I completely. Just like we were talking about a couple episodes back, I don't listen to anything in order. I hit shuffle, and I'm just, not thinking as hard as I used to.
I kind of miss the days where like I'd buy a soundtrack and I'm like, I have to listen to all of it to get to the songs I like, and that forces me to learn about new acts and stuff.
Well, we've got some fun news.
Oh,
Keven,
yeah.
take it away.
Yeah. So last week I showed you, or last episode, I guess I should say, I showed you guys photos of Zoe Kravitz looking her best out on Fashion Week. But not to be outdone, Divine Joy Randolph has been killing it on the red carpet.
Yeah.
She was recently on Wendy Williams talking about how she's been taking over the runway, so to speak, at the Spirit Awards, the Golden Globes, and most recently at the NAACP Image Awards, where she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for her role in My Name is Dolomite.
She's
like,
killing.
if you guys are checking out the YouTube feed, we are showing you photos right now.
Look at her.
Fuchsia.
Yeah.
Come through.
She's
She
got
does-
some really colorful looks.
She does great on the show. Whoever the
gosh.
style is, the style is just really cool and retro. And I love the fact that she's able to be herself on the red carpet. I mean, she's very comfortable in her looks, and I mean, she has some epic looks.
And
every
they're
time.
kind of varied too. Like it's never the same
No.
image
Right.
twice. Like she's definitely showing off her many facets.
And she also revealed on Wendy that a lot of her dresses that she sketches them. Just because she can't get, the things
What she
that she
needs.
wants. So she sketches a
Wait,
lot
she
of her.
designs her dresses
Yes.
too? Oh my god, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Thank you for helping me out. That's
Killing them.
awesome.
Yeah.
Charisse, remaining my favorite on the show, always.
You know who else are our favorites, though?
Yeah.
Our fans.
Yes.
We want to thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. If you're listening to us on iTunes, 5 stars, please. And go ahead and click like, subscribe, and comment in that order or out of that order. Just do it. We appreciate you and thank you.
Absolutely.
I would love to hear what some of their favorite possessions are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
to make me
comment
feel a lot
below.
better about mine.
Yeah, let us know. Guys, that's the end of talking about these two episodes. It's the end. Please, let us know where everybody can find you guys online.
On Instagram and Twitter, meet Kenneth Ware.
Instagram at Kevin Allen Graham, Twitter at Kevin Allen Says.
All right, and you can find me at Hey Trina Dong on Twitter and Instagram. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode 5 and 6 of High Fidelity, the after show. Keep tuning in for more episodes. We will see you soon.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.